Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. It's Saturday, you know what that means. Of course it means here continuing the journey of Batman Brave and the Bold. This is Season 1, Episode 22, of course, but not know the title until I get into the episode. I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that last week's episode of Brave and the Bold actually exists. Because the idea of Jonah Hex, first of all, like the fact they introduced Jonah Hex within Brave and the Bold, it makes a lot of sense. And then we had an episode, of course, last week, because they introduced him like episodes ago, like in a little like preview, whatever they called the thing before the intro, that little like segment. And then now we have a full Jonah Hex episode last week. But to include Warworld, Mongols, like sister, like there's a bunch of crazy. And then Steppenwolf, like just so much stuff in that episode. I would have never guessed that's where they were heading when they brought in Jonah Hex. I just never would have thought that was the actual like tie-in was Warworld and all this stuff. Craziness. But then again, that's the beauty of Brave and the Bold. You just never know, and I keep saying this, you never know what to expect because they keep doing it. That's why I keep saying it, because it's true. They keep doing it. They keep throwing in curveballs. So what's going to happen here? I have no clue, and I love that I don't know. I love that it could be anything. That also leaves an area up where it may not be the best episode, but as long as I'm entertained, I'm having fun, that's really what matters. Because as long as you do that, then I'll let a lot of the things go to the wayside, really. But anyways, let's dive in, guys. Let's check it out and see what they show us in this week's Brave and the Bold, because you just never know. Let's go. Roller coaster? Oh, I should have guessed.
Only the great Mr. Miracle could get me into a mess like this.
There's no sense arguing about it now. You know Barda. She can't stay away from the action.
Blade.
Fire. Great.
This is a pretty good death trap.
I've been in bed.
Who is this? Who did this? Okay, good.
Let's hear it for Mr. Miracle.
Wait, what?
Of Estatology.
What?
And Batman. He raised over $1 million for the city's orphan fund.
Okay, I did not see that coming.
You know what would be a real miracle? If you'd finally clean out the garage.
Guess there's one trap you can't escape from.
Okay. What? It's like Planet of the Apes, but cats. I literally just said it's like Planet of the Apes, now there's apes. What in the hell is going on?
If Prince Tufton wasn't my friend, Dr. Canis,
Okay.
I'd say let them wipe each other out.
Your kind is little better than human. You will pay for that insult.
Gorilla versus tiger, dawn of animals.
Formation.
I really am so confused by all this, but here we are.
Get away from him, you big ape!
Well, I mean, they are big apes.
Reinforce the right flank.
Who are we supposed to be supporting here? Because they're both enslaving humans, so...
Once again, you've routed the ape filth and won the day.
Ape filth.
But I fear I've lost my son.
You are a disgrace to all ape kind, General.
Who are you?
I knew it.
I do. Gorilla Grodd.
About to say, where's Batman in all this?
Professor Nichols?
He knew about my temporal experiments and used my time ray to send himself into the future.
I like how he's just sending him without even really a conversation. Just, okay, we're gonna send you to Gorilla Grodd.
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 Your name means nothing to me. Soldiers, teach this fool some respect.
Exactly, you can't do anything to him. Monkey v. Monkey, Dawn of Monkey. It's over. Yep.
You are beaten.
These wild humans will make poor slaves. There's barely any meat on their bones.
Oh! Okay, thank you.
Run! You're free! Doggy.
Okay, thank you, Batman.
Why would you ever want to come back here?
One of the most
Well, Gorilla
diabolical
Grodd.
villains of the 21st century is loose in your time.
Surrender, or the slaves and your
Uh-oh.
human-loving friends die.
You've caused me a lot of trouble, Commandy.
Well,
This is the
maybe.
end for you.
It is not treachery to fight for the rights of all species, Father.
Human
I like
lover,
that.
You are a
Whoa.
traitor.
Not only to your species, but to your own family. The rest of you are to be executed.
Of course.
Your people are in danger, Great Caesar.
Mhm.
How can a lowly human be of service to the Tiger Empire?
A criminal madman from my era, Gorilla Grodd, has come to your world.
It's a giant army. Yep.
Tiger Man?
Tiger Man?
Done. This is the dawn of a new age.
You must be Grodd.
Well,
The
you're about to
apes may
find
have
out
a
real
new
quick.
leader.
I am the Sonic Cannon.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, he can create weapons and shit. What the fuck? It's like King Kong, basically, in a way. It's King Kong, yeah, he's climbing, yeah, of course.
They're inside
Yeah,
the gates.
of course they are. It's pretty quick. There he is right there. Of
This
course.
pipe empties on the far side of the city. They'll never see us.
The mighty have fallen, Great
Yeah, that was
Caesar.
pretty quick, taking over the city. The Bat Cave. Okay, that makes sense.
Who dares enter the Bat Cave?
Literally bat people. Batman didn't expect this.
My stuff.
Exactly. Of course, the penny's still there. Slow-mo.
Grodd's using technology from the past to conquer your world.
Yes.
We're going to level the playing field.
Even more weapons. Of course. Lions? Bears. Oh my god. Snakes. What in the hell?
We do not fear chimpanzees.
Oh, chimpanzees. About to say, what's gonna happen? Yep.
To fly through the air like an eagle? This was an age of wonders, Batman.
I'm going to be sick.
Whoa. Of course, destroying the machines, that makes sense. It's a full-on war, man. It's crazy.
This
Oh, rock slide, okay. Oh, man-bats, or bat people. Such a, such a wild episode.
Tiny, finish that.
Oh yeah, forgot about the giant gorilla. Oh! Yep. Aha. What's the plan with the giant gorilla?
Did you say you had a plan?
Exactly, yep.
I didn't order a retreat. Come
They always run away.
I owe you my thanks, humans.
Humans.
Perhaps there is more to your species than meets the eye. Free the slaves!
Thank you.
Maybe next time you'll be visiting me.
Really? Do you mean
Commander, down, boy.
Yeah, down. And there you have it, guys. Was not expecting this episode at all in terms of where it went, but here we are. Overall, a pretty solid episode, and it just got wild and crazy at times. I'm like, there's just a lot going on here, but pretty solid stuff. So, the opening little bit or whatever with it's Mr. Miracle, I think, yeah, and then the big barter, like all this stuff. So that was funny about the charity like escape thing or whatever. They raised a bunch of money. Just kind of an odd, strange opening, but it's a little fun. It's fun because the rest of the episode in terms of Commandy in the future, it's insane. It's a lot of insane stuff. So first of all, Commandy as a character, I don't really know much about the character. I just don't. Just be blunt with you. But what I have seen in Commandy, I'm like, it's interesting. It's like this idea of like this dystopian kind of uncertain future, and the idea of Commandy trying to do good in this world, not really knowing like what had happened previously, just kind of like sporadically this character pops up from time to time. So it's like one of those things where it's like a take or leave it situation. Like I'm not like out there seeking stories about Commandy, but I think in the show here, it's at least somewhat entertaining. But what I'm more interested in is more so the actual dystopian future he's from, not so much him as a character, because the idea of like, okay, he's observing a war between a tiger empire, tigers who can talk, upright on two legs, versus a gorilla empire. And I thought that was as crazy it's gonna get. No, No. Because Gorilla Grodd, which makes sense in terms of Gorilla Grodd, shows up in the future. He actually went to some scientists, forced his way into a machine that sends him to the future. Batman asked that same guy to go into the future, and the guy doesn't even bat an eye. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, Batman. It's like, wait a minute, wait. Are we for sure this actually works? Like this machine, this device can actually send into the future? No question, just sends Batman. Gorilla Grodd takes over the Gorilla Empire, builds machines, because of course he's super smart, so now he has an advantage. And so he creates these machines to take down the wall and take down basically the city where the tigers are basically residing. And they both have enslaved humans. The Gorilla Empire and the Tiger Empire have enslaved humans. And that's this whole entire thing of where if humans are caught, they're rounded up by whoever finds them, and then they become the slaves. They're basically in like being controlled by whoever took them, whatever empire or whatever. So I thought it was interesting that Commandy and the son of the Emperor Caesar, who is running the Tiger Empire, his son, who's a tiger, person, tiger being, is working with Commandy to see a world where everybody is equal, that no one is enslaved. That's why he's working with Commandy, who's a human, a filthy human. It speaks. At one point when Batman was talking to the tiger, it speaks, but it doesn't make any sense. Why would I need your help, human? So I thought that was interesting, like to reveal that Commandy's partner in this is the son of the guy who's running the Tiger Empire. Gorilla Grodd is there. There's a giant gorilla named Tiny. It's definitely a reference to King Kong, obviously. That was pretty funny to see a giant gorilla, of course, named Tiny. That just makes sense. In terms of, like, you have a gorilla empire, Gorilla Grodd's there. You might as well throw in a giant gorilla that's like King Kong without saying King Kong, but calling it Tiny. Okay, there you go. But it gets even wilder. Because they go to the Bat Cave in the future, and there's bat people. And they're like, you're not a man bat. But then, of course, they team up with Batman later in the episode when, like, you fly like us, you look like us, we'll follow you, Batman. Okay. Didn't expect man bat or bat creatures at all, but then it gets even crazier. Because the son's goal, the Tiger King's son, who was tasked by Batman to go do something, we didn't know what he was doing at first, he is now bringing forth rat people, lion people, the bear people, I guess empires, whatever, snakes, and then there was something else. Because it was like bear, lions, snakes, and maybe it was just the rat people too. I remember there was like a fifth one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but obviously the bat people showed up later too. All out war. Like, the animation to complete this episode must have been insane with the amount of stuff they had to draw, especially the opening sequence with the escaping thing with him and Mr. Miracle, Batman and Mr. Miracle, because they had to draw those huge crowds and everything. And now here in the future with Commandy and everything, they have giant armies of tiger people, bat people. You got the gorillas, you got the lions, the bears. So much stuff happening. Like a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things happening. It's pretty crazy to see how wild this episode got, because I'm like, okay, we're in the future with the Commandy and everything, and it's like a dystopian future as we've seen with this character before, but it gets even wilder and crazy, like all these different, like, just pandemonium. So there was a tease at the end of the episode where Batman's like, well, maybe Commandy, maybe sometime you can come to my timeline. He's like, oh! So that may be implying we're going to see him in present day somehow, some way. How? Who knows? But Batman kind of teased and hinted that maybe that's where we're going to head next for the character. Because we did see Commandy in the opening of an episode previously. So they've done a good job with that in terms of teeing up a character and like the little intro kind of segment before the actual main theme of the show plays. Before we get to the title reveal and the rest of the episode, whatever it's about. So they've done a good job with like highlighting a character and then giving them an episode later. So I'm hoping we get a Black Canary episode at some point, because Black Canary was showcased a few episodes back in an intro. I would love to see Black Canary. Jay Garrick's Flash. We've seen him in an intro. I'm just saying, there's episodes and ideas that I hope come to fruition before we run out of time on the show and the show's done. because we have 3 seasons. I don't know if the 3rd season is 26 episodes. Well, I know 26 episode thing for season 1 and 2 are both 26 episodes. I can double check and confirm that, but we still got plenty of time. Still got plenty of time to get to hopefully these good things. So yes, overall this was a decent episode, a pretty solid episode. I wouldn't say it was like an amazing episode, but I have to give props and a round of applause, literally, to the animation team who works on this show or worked on the show, because obviously the show has been done for a long time, because this episode clearly had a lot more stuff they had to animate and draw and actually do, because there was so much more happening on this episode in terms of like just things happening and characters and just the amount of like gorillas and all this stuff and tigers, all the different animals. So round of applause for them to actually get this done, because it looked like it was a giant feat to pull off, but they did a good job with that. So it looked overall pretty solid too. So yeah, had a good time with this episode, guys. What did you think of this episode of Batman Brave and the Bold? Was it as crazy as you expected it to be? Because as I say in the intro, and I say it all the time, you just never know. And I like that I just don't know. It's honestly, this is like one of the most unique shows I've ever seen. Ever. Because you really have no clue what you're getting yourself into. When you're watching any other traditional like Batman show, you have a rough idea of the parameters of what they could do. Like before this show, they had, in terms of production, they had The Batman, the mid-2000s show that ran for 5 seasons. Of course, in the 5th season, they started introducing Justice League members and all that stuff. Well, if you remember, within that show, there's a certain parameter of what they may do within an episode in terms of characters, in terms of like stories. There's a certain criteria, a certain certain threshold where they won't go past this point because it's too wild, it's too crazy for this show. Here, Brave and the Bold, there is no threshold. They had an episode last week where Jonah Hex was on World working with Mongol, right? So when you go into an episode, you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. So I have no telling, no clue. Because even the intro doesn't really give you anything either, because most of the time it doesn't continue, right? There's only been like 1 or 2 times that I can remember where the intro, because it was like the Robin episode where he was introduced and we had the flashback stuff, and then the rest of the episode was him older. That was like one of the few times we've ever seen a tie-in stuff. And we had it like one other time, I believe, so far that I can remember, where it actually tied in, because it's usually a small story and then the actual main story. So like you have no clue. And I like that. It's what's one of the most unique shows I've ever seen, because you really can do whatever you want within this show, because there's no like true like parameter you have to follow with Brave and the Bold. So that's a win. So anyways, I'm done realming. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I can't wait to see what happens next week, because you just never know what you're going to get. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.